Hey family, my name is Michael.
And I'm Glenda.
And we are the host of
The Love Again podcast. What's up, y'all?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? We are here for season 2, episode 9.
Yes.
So we are back again.
Back again, y'all. So this is going to be part 3 in the pursuit of pleasure. But before we get to that, what's cracking? And a lot of stuff has transpired, right? In the news, in the world.
Right. It's a lot happening.
It's a lot going on. We ain't got to just talk about it, but we do want to acknowledge, a few things that we we all going through together. We all family, right? So, R. Kelly just got sentenced.
R. Kelly got sentenced.
I don't care what nobody say. I have mixed feelings about that. And maybe it's because I live outside of him and the reality that he's possibly created along with other people and families. But I feel bad. I feel bad that someone so great had these issues and proclivities, and I'm not calling them mistakes. They are choices, but and yes, if it was my child, maybe I wouldn't have that kind of compassion. I don't know, maybe I can separate what they say he did from him. I don't know. How do you feel about
I think it's
the whole thing?
I mean, there's a disconnected nature. One, just because.
Maybe that's what it is.
Right. There is a disconnect because we don't know you personally. Right. So because there's a lack of personal relationship, then I only go off the things I do know. So I know you in 2 areas. Right. I know you to be a heck of a singer. Right. I was boogieing everything you was putting out. And I came front. But then I've come to know you as this other person.
Robert. We don't know Robert.
But at the same time, because a lot of what we do is we take what we do know and we attribute that to you. So it doesn't mean, you can be a monster and be talented. Just the reality.
And then, maybe it's not fair. I just was thinking about this, when, an artist is an artist, but they're also a person.
Right.
So when you see an artist down to dinner with his family or running to catch an airplane, for some reason you're not able to separate the artist from the person.
Right.
People in general, let them lead them people alone, mind their business, whatever. Or on social media, we can apply that to anything. An artist and the person the artist and the person has no privacy. Right? We think the artist belongs to us.
And we
right?
and we make the artist in person one and
Hold
the same.
on. No, I'm saying we separate them.
Okay.
I'm saying we see the artist
all the time,
and we're not thinking this is a person.
Right.
So, and then when they get upset, we get mad, you for the public, you're a celebrity, you live us a
public life.
A public life. So we want them to separate it, artist and person, when it benefits us, but other times we want to put them together. And yes, they are the same person, but people can live dichotomous lives,
all the time.
So you understand what I'm saying? So I guess I'm still separating the artist and the person, maybe.
And the thing about it is this, the reality is what you do as a person, it alters how we take what you've given to the world.
Yeah.
But what you've given to the world still stands
Still
alone.
stands. I hate that. I hate when they you had take the Heisman Trophy away. If and he probably did do these things, that doesn't negate
what he did over here.
What he did, and it was before that. Now, anything after that, I'm game.
It was all in the mix.
Anything after? No, it wasn't. His Heisman Trophy?
Oh, sorry, Heisman. Yeah. Well, that was.
I'm talking about OJ.
Right. OJ didn't. Yeah.
He did take his Heisman Trophy, didn't he?
Right. So I hear you. Yeah.
So I'm saying I hate that when you take back. You can't take away my previous. That's the trick. That's the plot twist. That's the wretched man that I am. That's the two people that live inside you. Sometimes y'all be having 6 and 8 people live inside you, but at least 2.
Right.
Anyway, all right. So that happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't mind hearing his music at a party. I'm not.
For me, Robert was filthy, foul. You did what you did, and just being around, I knew of other incidents just being in the city right at the time because I was in high school at the time, right? And as there were people I knew who kind of knew him, and so it was like, you're a foul person. Now the music is the music. Now, how do I separate that? Because the music is attached to where I met the music, not necessarily who created the music. Right? So like I'm attached, like it's always going and forever going to be associated with my days in high school.
Yeah.
It's forever, like that's the connection.
You couldn't do nothing to take Boys to Men away from me in the 90s. There's nothing, it just.
The connection is forever.
It just is what it is.
Just because that's how I was formed.
And I'm very sorry they did these things, but.
I think this heinous, I think it's horrible. Now, I'm not going to buy no new records, right? We're not, but I can't take away what it was. That's my thing. Is I can't take away what it was, right? So I just got to keep pushing. And but absolutely, like, you got sentenced for what you did. I'm not heartbroken at that at all. Not heartbroken at all.
Can't do nothing about that.
You know. So, yeah. So that was one thing. The holiday did pass, so the 4th of July.
4th of July passed. Y'all was out here pop.
In.
Y'all was they was doing fireworks on Father's Day. What? And Juneteenth, didn't they? Like,
they was popping off.
Yep, Juneteenth happened. Like,
no,
so.
I'm not mad at fireworks on Juneteenth.
No, I'm not mad about it.
Right?
No, I'm not mad about it.
Actually,
They've just been going off for like a month now.
It's actually fitting.
That's all good.
Right.
So that was good. Juneteenth, small businesses, black businesses. We saw a lot about that. I got a bunch of e-commerce emails that I really want to look into. Like, there's a one that Facebook sends you for free that you can download, and they have some like tips on business and e-commerce stuff. I want to read about that. So, like, I think, black business is booming. It's minority owned, black owned, women owned. Right. There are so many places that want to give people money and help them. So y'all get into that, dig into that.
It's time.
Some more deeper things happen. Like, I don't think I want to get into it, but I think it's heinous, the rights that are being taken away from women, and I think that people should have a choice with their bodies, and we keep seeing them take away choices for our bodies, and that's interesting to me. So I think that we should keep watching that and praying and voting when it's time to vote. And because if you watch, it's all going in a direction. It's not as sporadic and confused and chaotic as we might think.
Always
things are looking one off. This don't have nothing to do with that. I don't know. But anyway, so I think that's where I stand on that.
I hear you. No, there's always an agenda, right? There's always a trajectory for things. And so, yeah, I agree with you to be watchful and to try to, like, we don't always see the overall plan until it's too late. So you got to look bigger than individual moments. Because it's a plan and a pattern to a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And as they unravel one thing, that's the other part, is that as you unravel things, so many things are interconnected that we have to be careful, right? Because you can unravel that thing too far.
Right.
So yeah.
Life and stuff and things, y'all.
Things happening.
So
going on. So what's that?
Let's get into this episode talking about the pursuit of pleasure. This is the third part of this. Excuse me. We've talked a bit about a few things. Let me kind of go back and run us back. We talked about like communication. We talked about pleasure. Like, the word itself is not a dirty word. Go back and listen to it. Things you can do that help build intimacy, do things and activities you and your partner enjoys. Pleasure just means happiness, satisfaction, enjoyment. You definitely want to be satisfied and happy and enjoying your partner and your sex life together. Then last time we talked about like educating yourself. You don't know what you don't know because you won't go find out.
And there's places to find out.
And stop judging other people for what they know and have and do. Older people, go talk to some younger people. Keep yourself young. Talk to your grandkids and your children. And stop being so rigid, if that's your thing. If you have all types of other issues like There are or issues or preferences, or you don't know what your preferences are. Like we talked about some tests that you can take, like BDSM, Psychology Today, relationship tests, that kind of thing. You got to know what you like, and then maybe you can learn something, communicate, follow different people on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So that was part 2. You got to go listen to it to get it all. But that was just a brief overview. And tonight I want to talk about,
we are talking about the actual implementation of pleasure, right? The things that you can use to enhancements in pleasure. So what are the things that you can use, right? These are tools, right? The tools that you actually use in engaging one another and engaging and enhancing what you already do, right? Or sometimes discovering, right, what you can do and what you want to do.
Right.
So that's what we're talking about tonight, are what are going to be those actual things, right, that we've seen, that you've seen.
So last episode I wrote in the description, I wrote this in the descriptions. You won't know what you won't explore. You won't be good at what you refuse to practice, and you will never learn what you don't study. So that's with anything. One more time. You won't know what you won't explore. You won't be good at what you refuse to practice, and you will never learn what you don't study. You're always going to be scared of the unknown. You hear that so many times. So and all I'm saying with that is, don't be afraid of your own curiosity, thoughts, that kind of thing. What I mean by not being afraid of it is not being afraid to voice it. I don't necessarily mean you have to do it, but I'm saying to talk about it and and if you have that person that you can be honest with, and be honest with it in yourself, or even write it down like in your phone or something, just like put words to it, get it out of your head, outside of your body, so that it's not something that you feel like you have to be ashamed of or whatever.
Right.
I'm not saying every action, every thought is something that you have to take action. That's not at all what I'm saying.
Right.
But I am saying, if there are things that are in play for you, and some that you can stretch the boundaries a little bit, then feel free to speak that to your person.
And even greater, to your point, we've always talked about communicating, right? So even just being behind that, always being able to just express what you want and what you think and what you feel. Now, to your point, not everything we think, express, and say is something that we have to act on and do. That's just life, right? There's a lot of things that you can think about that you're not going to go do.
Right.
But the opportunity to, though, is what's most important. Right. The opportunity to say what it is that you're thinking, desiring, wanting, and to be able to have some kind of conversation around it. And to feel comfortable doing that, I think is the most important part.
Right. And if you can do it with your partner, then do it. Or explore, talk about it, whatever.
If both of you are good with it, happy to do it, excited, and even if you're, you might not be as excited as your other partner, there are things on which we bend, right? And some things we don't go. So, just knowing, as they talk about, what are your limits, right? What are hard limits that, no, I'm not going to do this. Okay, what are some soft things? Well, I don't necessarily like this, but for you, I may explore this area. But being honest about that.
Right.
Right.
I just hear somebody when we say it and express it, and I ain't gonna do that. You confuse talking about something, and a lot of us don't have communication skills. You confuse talking about something with actually going through with it. But talking about it and saying, no, I don't like it, and no, I won't do it, is just as important as saying, yes, I do like it, and sure, I will try it. The hard nose can't just be in your mind every single time somebody tries, you turning your nose up and rolling y'all, black women, we have to learn to communicate and express ourselves and allow other people to express themselves, and just, you don't have to like it. You could say, no, I don't like that, I don't enjoy it, but you don't have to act like a jackass about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I can hear somebody just, I ain't doing it, because and if you do that, then that must mean that. Listen, that's why you angry now, because you just and all this thinking up here, and you don't get a chance to say what you need to say. you got to let some of that out, whether it's to a therapist or to your other person or your pastor, your best friend. You got to get some of that out. So yeah, talking about it don't mean you got to do it.
Yeah, and if that, but the other part too, to your point, like if that's the environment that you're setting up, then you're setting up for your partner not to tell you things. So then you're inadvertently you're going against the very thing you think or say you might want.
Right.
Because when when you create an atmosphere that I can't just say I just want to talk, but I can't talk, so that and we're human, right? So it's that feeling of you get that feeling of, well, there's a part of me that you don't want, well, and you can get your partner feeling ways that you don't want them to feel, but your actions or your mindset towards thoughts or conversations is really hindering what you have going on. Right. So it's always like, I know sometimes it feels like sometimes you talk to people and you have conversations, you realize that like all the good communication skills can go out the window when we talk about sex.
Yeah.
Right. All the tips and tricks and all that feels like it can go out the window.
Right.
When you get couples like you're like, oh, didn't you just? No, we don't talk about that. And so it's because you're uncomfortable, or it's because you're nervous, or it's because you don't like something.
Right.
Right. Then all of that goes out the window, and your partner then is stifled. The relationship is stifled.
Right.
So
right.
it's yeah.
Yes. So we just wanted to talk about some things that these are enhancements. These are things that you can add. These are things that you can try. These are things these are things that you might not realize that will is what you need, or what will help you, whatever it is that you're, trying to achieve in your like sexual relationship. So like, all right, so let's start here. So we said toys. Okay, that's the obvious. We're just gonna jump in like toys.
Right.
Okay, what do you mean by toys? And okay, toys. There are
varieties and categories.
Varieties. There are toys for men. There are toys for women.
Absolutely.
There are toys that help you both. There are toys that just help one or the other. Like there are things. All types of things that you might have ever seen. I don't know.
There are. I mean, what?
There are dildos. Dildos don't move. They're not electronic. Okay. Dildos are just the item. It is a phallic apparatus. It's a penis. It can come in all sizes and shapes and colors. Okay.
They do.
Some of them come with suction so that you can put them, stabilize them somewhere for self-pleasure. Right. All right. That's the dildo. A vibrator, however, is electronic.
Right. So
okay.
It's meant to stimulate various parts and places on your body. Right. So it is meant for enhancement. So this is also a piece, like I've seen videos, and you got, like as a man, sometimes you got to be aware, like toys don't replace you. So this is what we're talking about, right? These are enhancements to add to for the both of you. Right. Right. So, sometimes you get the idea of competition in your mind. So like, let me first say that, right? Like fellas, like you have to get the idea of competition out of your head.
It's an inanimate object. It's not competing with
this is not competition.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of that, right? So you have, like we said, vibrators, there's dildos, there's...
Let me say this really quick. I saw this the other day, and it said it takes, on average, a man about 5 minutes to ejaculate. For a woman, it takes about 35 to 45 minutes. So, first of all, that dispels any, like, shame or feeling like guilt, like it takes you too long to climax, or that you're incapable of climax. I will submit that you just don't know what makes you climax, neither does your partner. Now, so if it takes you longer, then it must mean it's more to it than just, you know what I mean? Like you need more. So when we're talking about like vibrators, some of them are just clitoral. Some of them are phallic shaped. They're not necessarily like penis, looking like a penis, like a dildo would, but a vibrator would be phallic shaped for insertion.
And like we talked about, because again, different body parts, right?
Right.
The male is pleased differently. So a woman, we talked about. Did we talk about like the G spot?
I think we talked a little bit about it last week.
Right. So that's where it helps, right? The insertion is different because it's going to meet a different part of her body.
Right.
And to your point, if it takes the woman longer, so it takes there are things that you have to warm up. You got to move in a certain way to help the process.
Right.
So,
and you got to start before right now. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
So we don't want to stay too long on each thing because there's a lot of things. So toys, right? So there are for men there are toys for the penis as well.
Penis rings. There are
yes. I was like, how do I say it?
Penis rings that vibrate.
Yes.
There are all kind of things.
Penis rings that on the other side of it have a vibrating thing for the clitoris.
Right. So both of you can be in there at the same time.
And then some of y'all got to sit there and think about it. Yes, you should envision it. You should know what it looked like. And we talked about that last time. Like, where's the clitoris? Where's the labia? Where is all of these things? So you know what you actually
are working
looking
with.
at, touching,
trying to help.
A friend of mine told me the other day her mom used to tell her to look at herself in the mirror. Some of y'all don't even know what you look like.
Right.
Men and women too. Like some of you don't even know what you look like. You don't know what's in there. You don't know what you pay attention to
every like pay too much attention.
How you. What you mean?
Please, a joke.
How you smell, all of that. Like you should be taking care of yourself. Like you should know what's there, what it look, all of that. Look at it. Take a picture of it so you can see it up close. Anyway, so penis rings for men. All right. So vibrators and penis rings, and then let's talk about what you want to go to next.
I was gonna say, so then you have like lubricants,
aids,
right? So different kind of aids. So you have things that can increase sensitivity, right? Decrease sensitivity, which can be a help
for men.
Yes. Right? You have things that help the taste. Feel like these are
okay. So like pills, prescriptions. We're talking about. So you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about just specifically lube?
Yeah.
For taste?
No, I'm thinking. Yeah, there are.
Okay.
I'm thinking of more external things at this point, right? So there are external items. So we've talked. Look, like you have lubrications, some that are infused with say CBD or THC or different things that are for arousal purposes, right? Even from the standpoint of the candle, right? That we have, right? It is designed to help those things, right? The male or the female has the essential oils and the things to help enhance your pleasure, right?
Well, like an oil for your body is going to be different than the lube. Now, I don't want nobody getting a candle and putting it on their genitals.
No, don't do
that.
I don't mean that.
Not with our candle.
But there are. I mean, sorry. So that's to be clear.
There are things it can touch you, but that's not what it's for.
There are things that go towards your genitals and things that are just for your body, right? That don't necessarily arrive at the genitals too. So yeah, go ahead.
So those oils, some of those. So one of the oils, it's not necessarily a lube. That's what I'm saying. A lube is specific. Right. So this one is not necessarily a lube. It is an oil, and it is this one that I'm going to talk about is specifically for women. It's called Awaken by Foria. They asked me if I want to be an ambassador, by the way. But anyway, or they gave me some choices. But so like, it's called Foria. It's ForiaWellness.com, I think. And it has CBD oil in it. And it's for arousal. Arousal is for pleasure. It also is for like people who may like experience pain, like sometimes. And so CBD is for that. It helps with inflammation. It helps like ease any pain. I know people that have pain and they use CBD oil. Either and CBD oil is to be used topically. So like it's a bug in here. If y'all can see us, we're fanning. So it's a big bug in here. And then lube, then on the other hand, is for ease. There are people who experience dryness and because of that dryness you experience some pain, and so you don't have to have sex. Right, but there are lubricants that you can use, and there's no shame in that.
And they're natural.
Yes.
That, and not harmful in any way. To help you get back to the space you want to be in. Right.
And so that's the difference between oils, lubes, and then oils for the body, like our massage oil candle, can be used everywhere. So I misspoke. Like if it can be on you, but that's not necessarily what it's for. It's for a massage. It's for a massage.
Right. It's safe.
Wherever you want to massage, then go for it.
But
it is safe.
Yeah.
Then I was thinking about like. So let me go back to stores. There can be a store in your local area, or you can go online. If you just you can go online and scroll and look. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, to see what it is and like, ooh, what is this? Oh my God.
There's places like Lover's Lane.
Yes.
Adam and Eve. Different places.
Yes.
Where you can see.
You might be somewhere where a Lion's Den is.
Lion's Den.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Online it'd be like different places have it. Lovense has it. There's just, I don't even know, all kinds of different places that have. You just look online for erotic stores. Excuse me, this bug is just really wanting to be here with us. But erotic stores, online erotic stores. And then I was thinking about, like, so you talked a little bit about taste. So there's taste vitamins. There's certain ones that I've seen. So I'm just going to mention those. Taste Vita vitamins is specifically for a taste for a man or a woman. Right. It's supposedly all organic, like, and it's fruit. From when I was looked at all of the ingredients, is like all fruit, and it's supposed to enhance your taste within 2 hours. And so now you can't be eating pork rinds and eating garlic all day long.
Right. Still drink your water. Still eat your fruit.
Yeah, you gotta eat fruit. Eat well. Like, eat light. Wash. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's, you can't be putting raspberry promenade lemonade down there. That's not what we're supposed to smell or taste like. Like, when these taste Vita vitamins, that's from the inside. So all right, whatever you taste like is what you've been tasting, is what you've been eating,
what you've been ingesting, right?
Yes.
So that's why diet is important.
Yes, I was reading the other day that a woman's natural, like, flavor is slightly salty. So all y'all talking about y'all taste like candy, something's wrong. You lying.
or you fruitful. You just eat a whole lot of fruit.
Maybe so.
A whole lot of fruit.
Maybe you are, but you can be. There's still going to be a tinge of salty, and that's healthy. That's my
Nothing
point.
Wrong with that.
That is healthy. But I was thinking about, like, Taste Vita vitamins for Vita, and then Tahoe_TV on Instagram. He sells these rock hard gummies. There's also, I was listening to another thing, and they sell, and they were talking about Blue Chew. Kevin on stage talks about Blue Chew. Now they ain't affiliates with us. We're just giving you some information about where to get some stuff that we know. Maybe you need Viagra. Maybe you need Cialis. Maybe talk to your doc. Listen, you're getting older. We're all getting older. Even if you're in your 30s and your 20s, whatever, you never know. Things can happen. So just, if you need something, or if it's not that you don't have good performance, it could not be that. It could just be that it's a certain weekend and you want to go a little further. It's a certain date and you want to go a little higher.
Enhancements. This is what we're
Enhancements.
You want to do a little bit more, or again, you just want to explore something different. Right. You just want to elevate what you have. Again, yes, we're saying, how do you get better at loving each other? Yes. And this is that. The Foria Wellness has one for men. They have one for breasts. They have all kinds. They have suppositories. They have all types of stuff. But the Awaken one, you put it outside and inside. And I think it's dope. I think you should try it. There was something else. Pills, oils. It could be prescription or not. Absolutely. Like we said. Talk to your doctor, or be careful. Like, I don't know, like, how adventurous y'all are. I don't want you to get nothing, like, out the gas station or anything, because I don't know, that might make your heart beat too fast. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. People swear by them gas station pills. It might work, but you might have a headache afterwards, or it might take your blood pressure up if you don't physically fit and able to take whatever you take. Yeah, read the ingredients. So, like, if you got a soft heart, a weak heart, then don't go to Blue Chew. Go to your urologist and get your prescription. Yeah, because I don't know what. I don't know. Blue Chew is the actual medicine, but they bypass the doctor exam, really. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you want to go talk to who you need to talk to. Make sure you're healthy enough. Yeah. For what you're doing. And then herbal medicine, like I said, like CBD, you can have CBD chews, cannabis, THC, whether you smoke it, whether you eat it, whether you're putting it on yourself. Some of these lubes have THC in them. There's nothing wrong with it. Argue with your auntie. Go get maca root, yohimbe. All of these things are natural. There's I can't remember the name of the vegan joint I follow. on IG, but they talk a lot about maca root and different things, and all of those things work. They're natural. You can go pick up maca root and all these things in Walgreens.
But it ain't gonna work tonight. I heard somebody talking about this on another podcast. Like, you can't just go take maca root or either yohimbe and be like, "Ooh, I'm on tonight." This has to get in your system, man, and you gotta know what works for you.
Take like a vitamin.
Maca root might work for him, but it don't maybe make you sleepy. I don't know. You have to look at it and kind of try it out. So this is like trial and error. You got to give it some time. You know, in the meantime, I think there's some other things you can do to kind of assist if you need the assistance. But if you're talking about getting some like natural supplements in you, then it's going to take some time to kind of take root. All right. So don't expect like.
Now they tell the bottle say drop 4 and you good. So, talk to them, check it out.
Well, this man was saying, okay, so maybe so. We got down here yoga, tantric yoga, pole dancing.
Right, activity helps. Right, that's the other, so enhancements aren't just things you have to go buy, right? Like products. Like enhancements are what things make you feel good, what things make you feel sexy, what things put you in a sexual mood, right? These are enhancements. So now you see we got these lights, right? So in our house, I've recognized everybody likes lighting. Nobody likes just the white light in our house, right? So we've bought lights for all over our
Every
house.
time I see a light, I feel like I'd be wanting to get at it. Stop myself from getting it.
So I recognize that's a thing that sets a good mood in my house in general. So we bought them all.
Not necessarily a sexy mood,
exactly,
but a good mood can lead to a sexy mood.
Right.
Like that, y'all want to go from bad mood, we do it too. Bad mood to, that just doesn't, it's not going to work, particularly for women. Now, men might be able to be more quick on the draw on that. Maybe not, but women, that's not going to happen. So, not for the most part. Like, sometimes people can. I'm not saying they can't, but if you want to work, if you work together in that way, then yes. But like a good mood, just a chill mood, it's relaxed. Everybody doing their thing.
Right.
Nobody's arguing, nobody's upset, everybody's calm. It's a peaceful night. The dishes are put away. You didn't have to cook tonight. Right. The house is reasonably clean. Okay.
For some of y'all, an enhancement might be a maid, quite honestly. A
babysitter.
A babysitter is an enhancement. A date night. These are enhancements. So we don't want to limit it, right?
Right.
But these are all enhancements going somewhere. And then
I was just about to say, you could just go downtown to y'all's JW Marriott or whatever the case may be and just get a room for a night.
Listen.
If you can't afford to go way somewhere, that's fine. It's cool, and it don't gotta even be afford. It could just be like we should not spend that money right now on this. But you can go downtown, $149, go to somewhere really, 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 really nice. Get their own time, so you get the use of your full use of your money.
Or
3:00 that day. Check out the next morning. Let's get you 2 days if you can do that.
Or get you even at an hour. It's so you have the hot tub, Oasis spots in different places. Like here in Grand Rapids, there's an Oasis place that is just hot tub. Even if it's just half an afternoon, whatever it has to be, taking that time.
Skyrock is in flight. Afternoon delight.
Hey.
Afternoon delight.
Get it? Right. So enhancements are those things too.
Take a half a day off work, both of y'all. And the kids are at school at their grandparents. And you got from 11 to 4:30 to do whatever you want to do. Sometimes you just need time.
Yeah.
And relaxation. Some of y'all need a glass of wine. Some of y'all need to smoke a L. Some of y'all need to take an edible. Some of y'all need to do something to relax your always thinking, always got to be on, always leading, always ministering mind. Get somewhere and sit. Pay attention to your spouse. Women and men, I'm talking to both of you. Pay attention to your spouse. So some of you are so you pay so much attention to your kids because you don't want to pay attention to your spouse. Y'all need to have another talk.
Wow.
But all you do is taking your kids. You with your kids. It's about the kids.
Because that's easier.
That's because it's easier to do, and it's something you're supposed to be doing. But you're pouring all your energy there, so as not to put any energy over there. You need to have a conversation. You need to have a conversation, because you literally are, just because you can focus on something else, that's just a distraction. You're using your kids to be a distraction from what's really going on. I don't even know why I said that, but so
that's a good point. And so okay, so I'm gonna go with differently a little bit though, but just when we talk about like ways to pursue pleasure, one of the things I was thinking this week was be mindful of how often you block pleasure. Right? Like, so like you talk about, we were talking about, you said something earlier, dishes in place, this in place, that in place. Like, it's easy to have a little argument, right? That ruins a whole day. You've been good, and at the last minute, here comes. So like, you have to be thoughtful of what things you allow to ruin your mood, and being cognizant that like sometimes, man, I've done that 4 times this week, inadvertently. And those are things to think about too as you pursue pleasure, is what ways are you contributing to not allowing it to happen? What ways, like what little things, and sometimes saying, okay, I can do better about not letting these kind of things interrupt the flow. Right. Now, big things, of course, when you're upset, and to your point, I don't think men or women deal well. You're not going to argue and then turn around and have sex. Right. It's not, you don't feel intimate in those moments. Right. And those things that sit and linger just continue to kind of fester in that moment. Right. So just when we think about like, what are ways, so sometimes when we talk about enhancements being like date nights and those things, sometimes it's just the opportunity to clear those blockages, right? That help to enhance what's next, because you get a chance to kind of talk those things out, or you get away somewhere, you get a chance to relieve stress, anxiety. That's gonna happen that's gonna happen over time, because like maybe depending on whatever the tension could be, because like and I'm just saying, like, I want them to be like realistic, and they know this. You have an argument, okay, now we talking it out today, it might be 4 hours. I'm exhausted now, like I don't it may not be finished, but I mean, at least we you can feel when a chunk of the burden has gotten off you. Absolutely. And then now you can go and talk about the rest. That conversation makes it better. And maybe there is sex in between there. Sex makes it better. But sometimes when you have sex, it makes you not finish the conversation. I don't like that. But so maybe you need to finish the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think sometimes we have sex and then it's like, oh, it's over. Never mind. I ain't mad no more. Well, no, let's finish this conversation. But it was brought us back to a space where we can the conversation is easier.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's meant to bring, and that's you're right. Like that can be don't be confused, right? It's meant to bring you to a space so the conversation is easier, not to nullify having the conversation.
Right. I think that's important. So I think that we hit them all.
I think we did.
I want you guys not to be afraid to explore.
Yeah.
Like I think and talk about your own body, how you feel about your own body with your partner. Like, this is deep, right? I think I was just thinking about this. Like, if you say to your husband, I feel nervous about you going down on me because I don't like the way I look, or I'm scared to shave. I've never shaved. Right. I've never done that. I don't know. Like, it makes me nervous.
I don't want the lights on. I don't want
the lights on. I don't want whatever, because I got a rose, or for a man that's like, oh, my penis is shaped this way, or
I don't like the way my belly hangs,
or if you did size issues, everybody ain't the same size. Like, those
stamina issues, whatever they are. Yeah, absolutely.
Those are things like you have to discuss, like, and things that you can love on the shy areas, the hurt areas, the shameful feeling, the areas that bring shameful feelings to your partner. But like, if you keep those places from them, that's a space of intimacy that you won't ever like get with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, good. Because then you can know that they love you completely or want you completely. Absolutely. Not in spite of, but inclusive of. Like, we don't want to say like in spite of that. I'm putting that to the side, but I love you inclusive of. I know you over 40 and your breasts hang. Girl, come here.
Look, I've been here the whole time. I'm so with it.
Whatever, like.
Come here, I rub them knees for you.
Whatever, right. Knees, all of that, and whatever. And it doesn't have to be related necessarily to age, but everybody has like what they say are flaws, and it could not even be a flaw to the next person. And so I think
And by voicing that, though, you give your partner an opportunity to reassure you.
Yeah.
Right? Because the things that you don't talk about, they never get that opportunity.
Right.
So you don't get it, like you've almost, indicted them unwarranted.
Yeah. And you don't want them to bring attention to it because it makes you uncomfortable.
Right.
But maybe God sent you this person to help you be comfortable with it.
Because they love it. They love it, and they want to talk to you. Right. They love everything about you.
Right.
And they're not. That's not a detractor for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I think that birthmark is cute on your back.
Right.
Like, everybody sees things differently, so you got to give them the opportunity. Like the Ariana Grande song, "I love to see me from your point of view." God gives you that person to see you from their point of view. Like, you're going to always look with critical eyes, but the person that loves you is going to look, if you could just see yourself through the person's eyes that loves you,
right,
that desires you, that craves you, it would maybe help change, your outlook on yourself. So anyway.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
I'll say this and we can get out of here. So, like I know women would be like, "Oh, I've gained weight, had the babies, blah, blah, blah," right? Like, if you sometimes to think about, like, a man looks at you knowing that you had those kids and they're his kids. Like, he's glad about that, right? So, like, the changes to your body are further connecting him to you. Like, he appreciates every change because every change means something and holds a great deal of value to you, right? So, like, when you look and be like, or a woman's like, my stretch marks, my stomach, like, I love all of that because all of that has been an enhancement to my life. So I don't there's nothing negative about you or the way you look at all to his perspective. But, you may not hear that if you're just in your closet saying you don't like it.
Right.
And sometimes, when things don't get, so, like, I don't know why I'm thinking this example, like, he's like, turn the lights on, and you're like, turn them off. And now you're arguing about the lights, but it's not a light issue. You know what I mean? It's an issue that's deeper than that, but that can be resolved in a conversation. And maybe you don't have to have the lights fully on, you get some soft lights. Right?
Ooh, it just made me think about recording. Here's another enhancement. Recording is another enhancement. Hear me out. It's just for you two.
Absolutely.
And it's like playing back the tapes on game day. Now, I've learned this from Mike because they play football, so then if it's a certain team, you got to go watch the tapes because you want to know how this opponent moves, how he acts, so you can
do the right thing.
And these are not counter moves. You are practicing counter moves, but you also are looking at moves before he even moves. So in the same way, like, y'all could watch it together, and this can spark another session. Like, watch it together. Maybe you could just watch it apart. Whatever. Yes, like, and women are visual too, so we need to stop saying men are visual, but we know that men are visual, we know that women are visual, and he wants to see that. It's going to be, allow it to be erotic, that's another word y'all don't like, for you to look at, like, which just means it creates sexual tension between you.
Absolutely.
So, like, as it should. And so you're looking at yourselves, not some
random spandom.
Yes.
It's
and if you think sex is nasty, then that's on you. Take it up with God, because he's the one that created it.
Listen.
He created an orifice and a place, and I
bless him for
it. All of that, what you think it is, whether you only do missionary with your top on under the covers, it's still, and you think about it, it's still nasty, what you would consider nasty.
So you might as well dive into the pool of nasty and just enjoy yourself.
Be like God.
Listen.
All right.
Like God. Be nasty like God.
No.
All right, we've talked enough on this.
Yeah, we've exhausted this episode now. All right.
So y'all go pursue y'all some pleasure.
Pursue you some pleasure with the one that you have, preferably.
www.loveagainpodcast.com. Get your candle.
Get you a candle.
Pursue you some pleasure.
That's right. Share this, like it, hit the notifications, comment, save it.
Talk about it.
Be about it.
You got some suggestions, for real. Like, we human. We want to know.
I'm going to put all the people, as many as I can, in the description so you can click and go to For Your Wellness. You can go to Rock Hard Gummies. You'll see Tahoe TV, some other people that we know. I'm just going to link them, all right, in the description. All right, we love y'all. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And we out.